Hello everybody, Shadow SP here, and we are back playing Granblue Fantasy. Today we're going to be running a free quest. Yes, it's something that we haven't done for a little while. It's an important one though, because it is a prerequisite for unlocking one of the raids that we want to do. We're going to be running the free quest, True Dragon's Gaze. So we'll go to the quests. Now you'll find it here on Gross Island. And it'll be over here on the Chapters 97 node. It's a V2 fight. True Dragon's Gaze, and because it sends us to the Miscellaneous tab, we know that it is a null element fight. Well, I knew that to begin with, but you know how it is. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pick, let's go with this dragon here. And our setup is going to look something similar to this. Yep, that looks good. Okay. So it's not exactly a long fight. So I haven't tailored everything too hard, but as it is a null element fight, there are some things that we have to pay attention to. Namely, that we do not get access to seraphic mods. So don't put a seraphic weapon in your grid. Now I went ahead and uncapped another Chev sword, another one of the light swords, the kind of bread and butter of our grid, which is, it's useful to have those around. So I figured I was probably going to want to do that at some point anyway. Something like this. I don't exactly know how much damage we're going to be taking. We'll find out. Okay, so the amount of damage that we're dealing is pretty good. And because of where we're at, okay, yeah, we want to make sure to not do too much here. So the thing about this Spindleson trigger is it deals plain damage, so there's no point in guarding. And then 70% trigger here is skill damage, which I don't know that we'll be able to do. Oh well, we'll figure it out. The fact of the matter is that the HP total of this fight is too low for us to actually kind of benchmark our damage for the actual raid. Okay, let's go ahead and I don't think, yeah, because we're not going to be double activating this yet, right? So even if we were, we're not close enough to anything. Okay, we'll just block with the ones that have been targeted. Okay. We can go ahead and use our backup mist. And we have the ability to double delay on Albert, so we'll go ahead and do that when we get actual diamonds filled up here. Well, we can't do that, so we'll just take it. Alright. Let's go ahead and... yeah, we'll just charge attack here. Yeah, seems fine. Alright, so we're just gonna go for the win here. Alright, so is the fight difficult? Absolutely not. That's not the point. The point is that fighting Lindwurm in A True Dragon's Gaze unlocks the Lindwurm raid. And this raid, if we can clear it, gives us access to some pretty useful and interesting stuff. If nothing else, it's also a raid that we can farm to get stuff for Ultimate Mastery. But it also gives access to the Draconic Weapon series, which we should probably look at real quick. So I think we may have brought these up at some point in the past, but this weapon series is pretty useful, given that it's something that if we can clear Lindwurm, we can farm, and we can technically trade for these with FP at a slightly reasonable rate. But it'd be better if we could do it with raid clears, like trading our EP in for actual progress, you know, into these True Dragon scales that we could then use for these, the Draconic weapons that we could use for Ultimate Mastery. Now, what do these weapons do? So ultimately, they have 3 skills. First skill is boost to element allies attack based on number of turns. It's an EX modifier skill. I believe it caps out at something like 25% or something like that, which is pretty good. At 10 turns. And then the second skill is, for our purposes, going to be a defensive skill. So either plain defense or element damage reduction. And the third skill is large majesty, which you can pick between Omega and the Primal. And that alone is really good for elements that don't have a lot of HP in their grid. Now these weapons are exclusive with the Dark Opus weapon set, right? So these are weapons that we need to do a different raid for that we can't even see right now. That have a very similar skill set, right? The first skill is that large majesty, so attack HP. Second skill is a cap up skill. Third skill is a different kind of a different skill. There's a lot of options, but we can't trade for any of these. Now, we can get one of them from the side story. What is it? Created by the stars, loved by the skies. If we look real quick over there, where is it? Is it here? Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Because it gives us the ability to trade for one of these weapons and a set to fully uncap it and give it skills. I'm kind of putting this off because it's a very committal decision, and it's quite likely that we'll end up going for one of these for our Proto-Bahamut clear, or at least attempted clear. So we'd probably end up with the light weapon for that, but I don't want to commit to it at this moment. I really would prefer to see if we can get to a draconic weapon, because while the cap up is nice, if we're not capping, it doesn't do anything. And if we can get draconic weapons, like, we can get these uncapped and farmed up for every element, so we could have extra power. Now, they're pretty expensive to actually skill up and uncap and everything, but it's a price that might be worth it, especially given elements that don't have a lot of HP. Ones that come to mind are like fire. We don't really have much HP added into our grid. Wind, our HP is pretty bad. And specifically light would be potentially useful because of the whole Proto-Bahamut thing. Alright, so let's talk one more thing about what we need to do to move forward. Other than Proto-Bahamut, we would like to get... Oh, hold on. Alright, so this requires that we clear... So if we clear the Lindwurm raid, we also get access to this set of free quests, which, you know, I'd like to do, but I don't know if we can yet. So if we clear Proto-Bahamut... So, what am I talking about? The next step, basically, there's one more raid on the standard raid tier that we'd like to clear, and that's this one, which is the Ultimate Bahamut raid. It's, you know, it's kind of daunting. It's a lot of HP, but it is less HP than the Lindwurm raid. So Lindwurm as a raid has 950 million HP, which is, you know, it's quite a lot. The raids in this tier are specifically, other than this one, if I'm remembering correctly. No, other than this one, sorry. This one we can't do because this is the Long Kyrian raid that requires that we do Rise of the Beasts, which is a time-limited event. So this account doesn't do it. This one requires that we do Ultimate Bahamut to unlock, and this is the raid that we would need to clear to start working on the Dark Opus weapon series. Yeah, so basically our kind of immediate docket is Ultimate Bahamut, Lindwurm. 4 Primarchs would be nice, but this is a raid that might be kind of difficult. We might try to do it as like a dry run to see how we might do against Proto-Bahamut. It's not really all that comparable though, so I'm not 100% sure. Again, so we're just making baby steps. The list of things that I've prepared for brainstorming for Proto Bahamut is not exhausted yet. Once we get there, we'll be there. I want to make sure specifically one last thing. We are working on our last step for uncapping the star. And once we get this, we'll be able to get the Geist Order. Now, where did I get these horns? Simple. I bought them with Prestige Pendants. It's expensive. It's not recommended. Just join your Proto Bahamut high level rids. But this account doesn't have access to that, so we're not doing it. And I have learned once again why I hate Null Grande Island mats. Alright. Nothing else to talk about then. Thanks for watching. This has been Shadow SP, signing off.